Welcome to TouchGraph Navigator 2, Entities and Relations tutorial. In this video, we'll be talking about specifying how data gets converted into a graph. We'll be working with the sample excel.xls file that we used in the Excel loading tutorial. This file contains information about emails sent between people within a company. To begin, click the Entities and Relations button from the menu page. The Entities and Relations page allows us to define entity types and relation types. Let's add a person entity. Click the Add Entity button. The Choose a Table dialog lets us select the table we want to associate with this entity. We'll select the People table and click Add to proceed. The Edit Entity page lets us name the entity, choose the ID field, and select associated attributes. We want to create a person, so let's type person in the entity name field. The bottom of the page is the Fields table. The three columns of radio buttons let us choose whether a field is the entity ID, an attribute, or is ignored. We'll select role as the ID for the person entity, and we'll choose email, sent number, and received number as attributes. Let's leave level alone for now. We're done with this entity. Click OK to go back to the main Entities and Relations page. We can now see person listed as an entity in the top table. Next, we're going to add a relation between people and levels. Click the Add Relation button. In the Choose a Table dialog, select the People table again. Click Add to proceed. Because we are defining a relation, this takes us to the Edit Relation page. We want to create a relation between people and levels, so let's type level relation as a name in the relation name field. A relation is a connection between two entities. We refer to them as the source entity and the destination entity. We'll use the first drop-down to select person as the source entity. For our destination entity, we want to create a new entity called level. To do this, we can type level in the destination entity field. The direction drop-down lets us choose whether we're creating a directed or undirected relation. In this case, let's keep it as undirected. The Fields table lets us select which fields are the IDs for the source and destination entities, and which fields to use as a relation attribute. We'll select role as the source ID, and level as the destination ID. Ignore the other fields. Notice that the source entity becomes disabled when we select role as the source ID. This is because the role field has already been defined as the ID for the person entity. We're done defining this relation. Click OK to proceed. A dialog will appear asking if we want to create a new entity called level. This happens when we type in a name of an entity that does not yet exist. Click OK to create the entity along with the relation. The Entities and Relations page now shows that we successfully created the level relation in the relations list and created a new level entity in the entities list. Next, we'll add a relation representing emails sent between people. Click Add Relation. This time we select the Emails table and click Add. Let's call our relation Email Relation. We want to create a relation indicating emails that one person sent to another. In this case, both the source and destination will be person. Choose Person from the source dropdown and choose Person again from the destination dropdown. The Direction dropdown lets us choose whether this relation is directed or undirected. We will make this relation directed. A directed relation means that the order of the endpoints matters. This email relation is a good example of a directed relation. There might be a different number of emails sent from one person to another than in the other direction. So we want to make this relation directed. In the Fields table, we choose Sender as the source ID and Recipient as the destination ID. We'll make sent number an attribute of this relation to record the number of emails sent from the sender to the recipient. We're done defining this relation. Click OK to go back to the main Entities and Relations wizard page. We now see the email relation in the list of relations. We can now press OK to go back to the menu page. There are other advanced features that become available, but for now we can press Load to create the graph. That's all for this video. Watch additional tutorials to learn more about advanced wizard features and how to configure the visualization.